Good morning, everyone. So this is a completely different video than the videos I have been doing. I wanted to clear up what stem cell treatment is and what am I talking about? I've mentioned this a couple of times, and at the risk of potentially stirring up controversy, I wanted to clear up some things because there seems to be, I've had a couple people reach out to me and mention things that they knew or heard about stem cell treatment and supplements and stuff like that. And additionally, some people were like, it sounds like voodoo, if you know what I'm saying. So let me just clarify what this is, okay? And again, you can cross-check and fact-check everything I tell you. And I always think you should, by the way. Anytime you're ever being told things about medical anything, you should always cross-check your information. But basically, stem cells are actually a naturally occurring thing in your body. They exist in your body and are made in your body, in your bone marrow. They exist in your adipose tissue, which is your fat tissue. They exist in your blood. So this is not something foreign as a concept. And what stem cells are is the word stem cell actually comes from the concept of root or ancestral cell. They are a blank, undesignated cell that can be used to regenerate things like heart, brain, blood, skin, etc. So they're basically a resource your body has to create new cells and replace or repair damaged cells, right? There's different types of stem cell therapy you can get. So one, by the way, a very effective way to get stem cells, because they already exist in your body, but if you fast for 72 hours or more, when you break your fast, your body actually releases stem cells. So you can increase your baseline stem cell circulation or existence in your body by up to a million. So like a vast difference in stem cells, and it's free. So that is one amazing thing that is incredible and powerful about fasting, and why I love fasting, and I'm really a big believer in it, is you can generate and release your own, kick your body into stem cell release and use, if you will. And this is not the same thing, pardon. This is not the same thing as autophagy. So autophagy is different. Autophagy is where, I won't get into what, but a specific little cleanup crew in your cells goes through and like gobbles up dead or non-functioning or damaged or inefficient mitochondria, which is your powerhouses in your cells, and other proteins and stuff, and breaks them down, extracts the things, the resources, the materials, or whatever it can use, and then the rest of it gets basically disposed of in your body. So it goes through and cleans. It's like when you fast, your body goes into, okay, there's no food, guys. We need to get more efficient. The cleanup crew comes in, and obviously your body, when it's not digesting, can now focus on repair and cleanup and kind of getting its own house in order. And this is why fasting is so powerful, because you get autophagy, which is that cleanup process, and you also get stem cells, which is the repair, these little repair cells. And when stem cells are released, they also release chemical signaling that reduces inflammation in the area and tells other cells to get into repair mode and start repairing. So it's a magical tool, and it's free. So I'm just putting in a plug in there because that's a free stem cell treatment that any one of you can do now. And the key thing to understand about this is autophagy you go into when you're fasting. But stem cell production specifically, you need to fast for about 72 hours or more. And when you break the fast, that's when it signals the release of stem cells. So you have to actually break the fast for that stem cell stuff to kick in. And it doesn't last forever, but it does absolutely kick in a bunch of stem cells into your system. So just a bonus for you. The other form of stem cell treatment is supplements. You've probably heard of this, and a couple people reached out to me about this, but I'm not a big advocate of stem cell treatment, and I'll tell you why. So stem cell in the form of supplements is when they take deer or other animal stem cells, usually animal. From what I understand, it's only animal, but I could be wrong on that. They're not live stem cells. So what they do is also you have to be aware of the purity and the ethicalness of the supplement and blah, 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 always with any supplement, obviously. But what they could have is like peptides or specific signaling molecules, growth hormone it's called, factors, which tell your body to kind of get into stem cell production and repair, like increase stem cell production in your body theoretically. Again, you have more of an effect if you fast. So like supplements will tell the body to like increase stem cell production, but fasting actually increases stem cell production and actually kicks a bunch of stem cells into production. So you get why I'm kind of like, why would I spend my money on a supplement when I can get way more benefit from just fasting and it's free? So just a plug for you on that in case, you ever had a question or anyone has spoke to you about this. Now, again, if someone is taking stem cell supplements and it's doing wonders for them, fine. Like, I'm not telling you what to do. But I just want you to understand what you're doing. And one thing I have learned over and over again in the field of supplements, nutrition, and really anything is never turn to marketing pamphlets or materials to do your research or understand what you're taking or doing. Because obviously a marketer's job is to sell the product and make you think it's amazing. And don't get frustrated with friends who share that information with you and think this stuff is the best thing in the world, because we've all done it. We read that data, we get that video, we watch that commercial, we get told things and we don't personally necessarily know better or we're not all biologists or whatever, right? So you don't necessarily know you can't evaluate the data properly. Let me just put it that way. And you take it at face value. So my stable datum on everything, diet and nutrition and health and supplement wise, is to cross check. And it doesn't matter. I mean, I follow incredible doctors as a naturopath. I follow all the top functional medicine doctors and naturopathic doctors. I've been following them for years, but I still always cross-check things, and I still try things on my body and experiment and see what works and what doesn't work for me too. Because also generic statements about some supplement or how amazing it is. Here's the thing on supplements: if your gut or your body is in a situation where it can't even process or use that supplement, it doesn't matter how amazing it is. If you have a fundamental problem that you haven't handled, then you're kind of wasting your time and money to throw things at it, and in some cases can make it worse. That's also a datum for you. So like, always double check things, always do your research, and always like try and see for yourself and use your judgment too. Do you know what I mean? So like, I just think it's a very good stable datum. Okay. The other type of stem cell treatments are when you do intravenous. So where they actually a lot of the time they take your own stem cells out, they distill it down to just the stem cells. So it's a very concentrated dose, and re-inject it into you. And that is intravenous IV stem cell treatment. It's not always necessarily your stem cells that get used in this kind of treatment. They can also use umbilical or embryo stem cells. And the decision on how and when you would use a donor's stem cells versus your own kind of basically breaks down or boils down to any autoimmune or immune reaction concerns. Like, are you going to receive the donor's cells well or not? Is it going to be compatible? And your age. So if you need really young, healthy, stem cells, you might need a donor's cells in that case. So there's different factors or considerations as to when you would use what. The type of stem cell treatment that and by the way, when you do the IV stem cell, that's quite frequently what gets done for like knee injuries or other things. So I think probably you do, I'm not an expert on knee stem cell treatment. They probably do injections straight into the knee as well. But it has when you do IV, it's like a general systemic body-wide stem cell help, right? But so it doesn't necessarily go straight to the area that you're trying to handle. That's the thing. The body will ultimately decide, and where it goes. You know what I mean? So like, it doesn't, just because you get it injected into your system doesn't mean it's going to go to your heart or your brain or whatever you're trying to handle. The body kind of makes its own choice in the matter to some degree, and then obviously they travel where they travel, right? They get as far as they get. Okay. So the other type of stem cell treatment, and the ones I'm specifically looking at, is transcendocardial stem cell treatment is one where it's literally injected straight into the heart. So that is a very focused stem cell treatment, like straight into your heart muscle. Okay. It's more direct. It's more obviously right into the area, so you can control it and you know where it's going to have the most benefit on the heart specifically, if that's what you're trying to handle. Another one is coronary stem cell treatment, where they literally stick it into your artery. And so that's kind of second best, if you will, in terms of going straight to the heart. As a datum for you, when you fast, as I said, you have a baseline of stem cells generally without fasting. So when you fast, you can increase that baseline up to millions. And when you do IV stem cell treatment, we're talking an injection of between 50 to 300 million stem cells. So it's a massive jump from just fasting. So fasting is amazing and super beneficial of itself, but obviously you can't not eat for 3 days every single day. So you can't do it all the time. You do have to eat. And you're still not going to achieve the same level of stem cell, if that makes sense. And same with the intracoronary or your coronary, and then also same with the transcendocardial. They're all between 20 to 50 million to 300 million in terms of how much stem cell you're getting from those kind of treatments, where it's direct stem cell injections. And again, supplements, you're not actually getting live stem cells. It's not the same thing. It's not like you're injecting a deer's stem cell into your body and that's going to be used by the body to repair. Do you understand? It's a very big difference between your own stem cells or getting injected with stem cells and supplementing. Hopefully this has been helpful. And again, if you love stem cell supplements, that's fine. I'm really not trying to knock people's successes. When all is said and done, there's also the power of consideration and the placebo effects and whatever. I'm not trying to knock that. We can never underestimate. If you believe eating strawberries all day long is going to benefit you, and it does, I'm not going to invalidate that. And I'm not saying it's the same thing, okay? I'm not saying supplements like that are the same as eating strawberries all day, but you get where I'm coming from, hopefully. And hopefully this video has been helpful and kind of giving you new data or information you didn't already have, or something that was useful. But the main reason I want to communicate this too is because I really am a strong believer that you shouldn't forward information that you read from marketing or that you get from marketing or sales until you've verified it for yourself. And the other thing, because I think in the health area specifically, it's really, really important because there's so much false information and so much like confusing and conflicting data in the field of food, diet, nutrition, and medical. And it makes it very difficult for people trying to get a grip and see their way around it when there's just a ton of like whatever, right? Stuff clouding up the picture, okay? And I just really want people to understand and have the facts, and then you can make your own decisions. To me, that's the most important thing. If you have the facts and the accurate data, not opinion, but the accurate data, then you can make your own choices, and the outcome should be a lot better in that way, if that makes sense.